Your dreams are big, your dreams are gigantic, and your grind is small. And I need you to do me a favor. I would prefer your dream be small and your grind be big. Because if your grind is big, I love that. I'd much rather that your dreams be small, but your grind is big, guys. Listen, this business is built upon small activities that are consistently duplicated, and that they can go ahead and duplicate 5, 6, 7, 15, 20, 25 levels away from you. That's how you build a sustainable, lasting Legal Shield business, one that will continue to pay your family for generations. And the system has been exactly the same, right? There may be a tweak here, a tweak there, maybe some new technology has come in that can go ahead and help us to be able to make it easier to get information to folks. But at the core, it's about the very beginning. And here's one thing I gotta say, and I'm just gonna be really, really transparent, because listen, I want success. I want massive success for every single person in this organization. And as a coach, let's just say I'm in the world of tennis, and I've coached world-class athletes, kids that have gone on to win Grand Slam titles, and what it is, it's the ones that can follow the system the best. And the beginning of a match is the most important part of the match. I mean, if you're not properly stretched, if you didn't get yourself properly warmed up, and you just want to jump right on the court, guess what? You're going to get hurt. You're not going to perform your best. And so the will to win is not nearly as important as the will to prepare to win. Well, we've done all the preparation. See, all too often, I think we get brand new associates in this business, and we just throw them on the court. We throw them on the field without the proper training. And if you get thrown on the court or get thrown out in the field without the proper training, you will become intimidated. There is no way you can't. And the other thing is that your business will not duplicate the way you want it. See, if you don't follow a system with the first person, by the time it gets to the fourth person down, it's going to be like that telephone game. They're literally, and it's so funny because you hear it. It's kind of like when you hear something from a teenager, somebody will tell somebody and tell somebody and tell somebody and tell somebody. By the time it gets to you, I mean, it's the craziest misrepresentation of whatever it is that they were initially talking about than I've ever seen before. Well, listen, when you just bring associate on and we're randomly just throwing stuff out there, and this is what you kind of got to do. No. You got to master the onboarding process. Master it. And I'm not saying that every single person is going to follow it, but you're not going to show them what it is to be able to achieve massive success, because isn't that what everybody wants, is to achieve massive success in what it is that we do? And here's today. Duplication leads to massive success, right? Duplication. And so you want to ask yourself, how duplicatable is my process every single time I start? It's like a recipe, guys. My mom makes the most amazing spaghetti sauce. I mean, it is so, I can't even put into words how good it is. But here's what I can tell you. I tried to duplicate my mom's sauce when I was in college. Now, the difference is, and I was telling all my buddies, I'm going to make the best, spaghetti sauce they've ever tasted, because I'm expecting it to taste like mom's spaghetti sauce. Now, mom's spaghetti sauce, it had like pepperoni in it, and it had sausage in it, and it was sweet tasting, and it was amazing. So I go and I buy some ragu, and I take a whole bunch of ragu and I throw it into this pot, and then I cut up some salami, I cut up some sausage, and I cut up some other meat, and I throw it in there, and I serve it to everyone. It didn't quite taste great. Well, I felt like I was making the right recipe. I mean, it's sauce, right? That we want our business to be where we're following the exact recipe. So when I finally got mom's recipe, and I learned how to be able to take the tomatoes and stew them and get them there and let them marinate all day.
And then from there, I'm going to put some brown sugar in there to be able to give it that little bit of sweetness. And then I'm going to, I'm going to get this certain kind of sausage, not just any kind of sausage. I'm going to follow that recipe. And before you know it, I'm able to cook that meal where it tastes great. Well, listen, a lot of times our meals by about the third or fourth person down aren't tasting great. We're skipping steps in getting people started. Your newest associate is the most important asset that you have in your business. You've got to be a sponsor when somebody joins this business, a sponsor, not just somebody who signs somebody up. So we're going to talk about tonight, what are the steps that you've got to do to make sure that you can efficiently and consistently be able to bring your new associates on and feel confident. Because see, we use a system in our team. I want you to realize the team that we are all part of, Shield Nation, they have written over 1.4 million memberships. 1.4 million memberships. That is close to about $400 million worth of commissions. It is very diversified, meaning we have a lot of folks that are in the network marketing space, but there are a lot of people in Shield Nation that are exclusively in that business-to-business arena, selling employee benefits, doing things like that. So we've got the ability to, we have the opportunity with the team that we have to bring the best of all worlds together. So congratulations if you're part of our organization, or if at all you're part of Legal Shield, because you're definitely getting the information from the very right people. And it's about taking these steps and duplicating them. Listen, it's about taking our egos and throwing them aside. It's about taking our egos and throwing them aside, because our egos get in the way when it comes to business. As a consultant in business, when I would go in and look at organizations or companies, when I found that they were off a little bit, you make recommendations to bring them back on track. And the whole thing is you systematize them so they can stay profitable for the next, however many years. Well, it's the same thing you want to do in your business. So let's dive right in. As soon as you come on board, number one, sponsors, go with your new associate. Let me repeat that, because here's what I hear all the time. I sent them the website. They're supposed to go look at it. No, guys, go with your new associate. Listen, you're on a journey together with them. Go with your new associate. Let's just be real here. When I finish, if what I say doesn't make absolute sense to you, then do it your way. That's really what I'll say, because at the end of it, it's your business. It's kind of like that show, if you ever watch what's the name of it, Bar Wars or something, where they come in, they change the theme of the place and they do all this and they make it profitable. Well, guess what? You see that the bartenders and the bar owners went back to the way they want to do it. Well, that's fine. But what I want you to do is just listen today and hear what it is I'm going to say, and realize that it is the best way to launch your associates. I mean, when I hear people talking about the launching of folks and I see steps that are missed, I just want to jump in and help. So let's dive right in. Listen, we're part of Shield Nation. 1.4 million memberships. Our platinum executive directors are John and Darcy Hoffman, $700,000 income earners with Legal Shield, mentored by a gentleman who's made over $50 million in the world of network marketing. So we got the system down exactly the way it needs to be. So you're going to go over to shieldnation.com. So you're going to go over to shieldnation.com, sponsors, going with your new associate, because they are one of your greatest assets. Listen, I say to people all the time that I am as committed to your success as you are. I'm as committed to your success as you are. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are, if you need help and you're committed to success and you're following the system, because here's what I'm going to say to every person. I'm going to say, well, let me ask you this. Are you plugging into this? Are you doing these following things? And if the answer is no, 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 and even worse is the answer, we're like, I did not know about that. I didn't know that existed, right? We can't have that. We don't want that for our teams. So you head over to shieldnation.com. We've got 65 to 70 ring earners on this team. We've got a great blend of professionals from the network marketing building side all the way to the employee benefits side. So you go to that onboarding page, And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of go through it right now on my screen here. But you go over to the onboarding page. This is really, guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 pieces of paper that you will discover on this website, these 5 pieces of paper hold the secrets to everything that you need to do in Legal Shield. They own the secrets. So if every one of your associates that's coming on board isn't printing out and having these 5 things, how is it going to duplicate down to the next level? You know, we want this business to be simple. We're not saying that it's easy. It's not that you have to do anything, but this is the best system, right, to be able to launch your business and to keep your business sustainable. See, too many people, you know, when they experience success, if it's not an extended amount of success, what I can tell you is you can find the places within the business or the steps that were maybe getting skipped, or the fact that you know, we just needed to push through it and get a little bit better. So you go over to shieldnation.com. And it says setting up your business checklist, right? It's right here on the page. I mean, you can't miss it. So you go there and it's got a checklist, and you open it up and you print it up. And it's put the name on there, the associate number, you know, what's the person's PIN number, what's their start date, their level up deadline, you know, when do you want to get it done by, who's their sponsor, what's their sponsor's phone number. You know, and so many people are like, well, why do I got to fill out the form? Because it works the best. I don't know. How does my Rolex tell time the way it tells it? I don't know. It's got 220 working parts, right? And it's Swiss made. I don't know how it works. Don't question. Just follow the recipe. Otherwise, it's not going to taste like mom's spaghetti. It's going to taste like something you picked up at the grocery store, right? So you follow it. It talks on here about going to your website, you know, getting signed up. I like this because, you know what, this is actually almost a great thing that you can do prior to somebody starting. How about you pre-qualify them to join one of the finest teams in the whole network marketing industry? You know, I mean, listen, we got great pride in what it is that we do. So you can even take this before somebody comes on board and say, these are the things that we're going to do. Are you willing to do them? Are you willing to do them? Because everybody's capable of doing it. So it talks about if you need a license, right? It gives you the states and a list of what the licenses are. So people don't go, what states are supposed to be licenses is. No, it says it right there. You click on it, it takes you right to a link that tells you what needs to be done in that particular state in the event a license is needed. You know, it talks about getting your website set up. It talks about getting your Prospect by Legal Shield set up. I mean, guys, you know, the Prospect by Legal, the longer you go without Prospect by Legal Shield being set up on your associates' phones, the more your business is losing market share, the more you're letting slip away. It's one of the greatest tools that we have, and you have to get that downloaded, right? It is such an awesome tool. And leaders, you've got to talk about it. You've got to talk about when you're looking at people's businesses. How is your Prospect by Legal Shield? How many folks do you have in your Prospect by Legal Shield? How many new people have opted in to your Prospect by Legal Shield? It's a simple formula, and this isn't a Prospect by Legal Shield conversation, but it's a necessity conversation. You got to have it, right? Download the, you can get free business cards. I don't know if you guys knew that, but you can pick up about 40 free business cards when you first become an associate. It talks about getting connected, you know, with social media. Then you go into, again, the simplicity of what we do. Here's what I'm going to say. The best trained team wins. And you then go to the next document, you know, which is your building your dream checklist, right? So you've got this building your dream checklist. And so what this form is right here is that it talks about the system that we utilize. It says, use, share, coach, duplicate. It's got it all right here. It says it. Use, sorry, other side, back. Use, share, coach, duplicate. Everything that you need to grow your business is right here on this sheet. You don't need anything else. It says, number one, use. What do you use? You're going to use your membership. You're going to use the membership. You're going to use the app. You're going to get your will filled out, right? You're going to get your member perks set up. You're going to use your member perks. Then you're going to use you're going to use what? You're going to go ahead then is you're going to become a satisfied customer, because then you're going to, want to share this with other people. There's some great little supporting documents there. Then it's going to go to share. And it's going to share this. You're going to share your why. And you're going to be able to print out a document. And it says 5 passionate purposes. Do you know your why? The motivation, purpose, or belief that inspires you to do what you do. Your purpose, your why, is the key to motivating you to do the things that unsuccessful people are unwilling to do. It says purposes are not logical. Paying my rent, fixing the roof. Purposes are sentimental and emotional. Grow as a leader, be my own boss so I never have to miss my kids' events, travel, etc. Logic is based on need, while emotions are based on wants and desires. Needs will push you only so far, but your wants and desires will keep pushing until they are satisfied. No one works for a company because they love selling. They do it because they love who they become in the process and for the reward of helping people. So think in terms of emotional purposes when you finish the sentence. I want to build this business because. And then it gives you 5 things that you can write in, guys. How many of you guys have filled that out? This right here, guys, helps you to get to the purpose of what it is you're going to do. And then it says share. That's, again, what we do. So with who do you share? You've got this top prospect list. Okay, it's right here. It's simple. It's old school, guys. Listen, you may think you can utilize Excel spreadsheets and you got it in your phone and you got it written on the napkin that's sitting right next to your desk and you got business cards over here. You know what? Use the Top Star prospect sheet because it's been working and we've sold 1.4 million memberships with this. So you take the person's name, you write it down. It's got their phone number. It's got their city and state. It then asks you to kind of check off a couple things. Are they married? Do they have teenage drivers? Do they own a home? Do they own a business? They like me, right? There's a simple question. They like me. And you put the person's name down. Now you got a place for 25. If you fill this with 25 names of people that you know, and you work on this list with your sponsor, and you get people invited to look at professional information, and that's the process in which you are going to build your business, great things will happen. It then talks about from a recruiting perspective. Are they maybe just satisfied with their job? Are they entrepreneurial? Do they have a lot of credibility? Do they have a lot of context? They have a lot of people. See, you want to go through this list with your sponsor, right? And if you're brand new and your sponsor's brand new and they're brand new, you got to get together with, the next executive director. Somebody's got to be able to follow this same process because everyone's business depends on it, right? You just got to pick it up and you got to move. And so it's exactly what you got to do here to put their names down. So this is where you put their names down. And then what you're going to do is you're going to invite them, right? So it says then share the service. So it's actually got a thing here. It says the consumer folder. It's one tool. Listen, whether you use the consumer folder, whether you've got yourself one of the printouts that you can get from Legal Shield on demand, you got to have something professional that you can sit down with somebody with, or somewhere you can email maybe somebody over a document. Listen, that's what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone always looks at a brochure or something along those lines. So you just make sure you've got something professional when you're sitting down with folks and sharing them, because again, this is about your brand. This is about your brand. And it's about our brand. I always tell people, listen, if you're gonna download something from Prospect or from Legal Shield on demand, or that you get out of your LS Engage app, please don't make it black and white. If the colors are purple and whatever, that's the colors they need to be, right? You've got a brand that you are trying to always, always, always protect because it's a great brand. So then you go ahead and you've got that. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to take the people when you reach out to them. See, we're going to share the service. Here's where it starts here. You write down your list. And you then take that list and you figure out, how can I group people together? See, groups of individuals are what you want to do. See, and once you get that list, you're going to then go ahead and schedule maybe a private conference call, something where it's going to be just you and just your prospects, and your upline support, right? Just that group. So you're going to invite your friends to come there, or you're going to invite your friends and the people to come onto a Zoom. You're going to take the local individuals also, and after you do that, you're going to get everybody plugged in, to that local briefing. What do you have that's local in your area that you can get to and start to build that solid foundation? I mean, that's the way this business becomes very, very sustainable. I was talking today to Curlins Cassius, one of our newest ring earners, tremendous leader. I said, how many folks you got locally attending the events with you and are coming out? He said about 30. I was like, oh my gosh, that is unbelievable. I mean, that is a rock solid foundation. So when you get people, plugging in, number one, getting into this system, okay, number two, maybe you'll schedule a private business reception where you'll bring some people to your house, to your apartment. I've brought people together at Panera's. I've brought people together at churches. I've brought 3 or 4 or 5 people together, maybe for a business meeting in a conference room. Wherever you can gather people together, that's what you want to do, because it's all about condensing the time. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to coach. You're going to go back through with your new associate after they're out there making calls. Again, I work a lot, as I'm just thinking about right now. Today I was working with Colton Havens, and it's about make 3 or 4 calls and let's talk about them. Make 3 or 4 or 5 calls and let's talk about them. Because if you can coach people, right, if you can go back and then you can make the improvements and you step back on the field and you do it again, it's the same thing that you do in business. The same thing you do in sports. You just duplicate the process. You just keep on getting better at it. And maybe you do a little bit of role playing. That's why you have practices. That's why you have scrimmages, right? And then you just duplicate that same process. So you're going to get folks to get over to shieldnation.com. When you get to shieldnation.com, you are going to print up these documents. You go right to the onboarding section, onboarding and training, and I encourage you to peruse the site. There are so many amazing things, but listen, if you are not following this same system, what if something happened to you tomorrow? How would your organization sustain itself? See, this is about building a business that can withstand the greatest of storms. Yes, you've got to put in the work. Yes, people are going to quit. Yes, you're going to have some good times. You're going to have some tough times. But let me tell you, it's going to be so worth it times. We're all capable of doing this business. And I know that if we take the 10 core commitments that we have and we onboard our associates the right way, we truly as sponsors understand their why. We truly as sponsors understand their why. We show them the right pathway. We go through here. It tells them right here, use the membership. Too many times I'll see an associate, they haven't gotten their will done. They've been with us for 6 months. Come on, guys. Our responsibility. How can you go out and talk about something that you yourself have not experienced? When it goes from right here to right here, when it goes from your head to your heart, that's when you know that what this business is truly, truly about. It is about helping people. And it's about helping people with a system that is proven. Listen, too many times I've seen, people that experience extreme growth and then all of a sudden it doesn't keep lasting. Well, listen, it goes back to how did you launch everybody? Maybe you haven't been launching people the right way. Guess what? It's time to change. It's time to say, you know what? I'm going to go where 1.4 million memberships have been sold. I'm going to go to a place where the highest level of retention in the entire company is. Because once we go ahead and use this, you're going to find out also that we're going to talk about how to build by using the power of referrals in this business. How do you get referrals? This is about getting associates onboarded. How do we get our members onboarded? And that's another conversation. But if you get your members onboarded correctly, right? It's like a business, guys. It is a business. You have clients, people that you serve. Right? That's what you do. That's how you build a long-lasting, sustainable business. Your members have got to be satisfied customers, and you've got to know how to best serve them. You've got to know how to best serve your team. And the simplest thing to do is you go over to shieldnation.com. You go to the onboarding process. You go to our training and resources. You go to the onboarding process. You pull out your build your dream checklist. You print out your top prospect list. Once you get that done, you're then going to add them over to what we call the Wealth Builders Tracking Form, right? This form right here, this is where they go from being a prospect to going on here, because now we can track them. Now, this should also kind of mirror match what you have in Prospect by Legal Shield. Yes, you may say it takes a couple steps, but you know what? It's the best steps to do. You want your Prospect by Legal Shield to have every single person receiving information. Everybody who's on this Wealth Builders Tracking Form, you want to have in your Prospect by Legal Shield. It says right here, and it's got instructions. First contact, you check it off. This is the first time you connect and share with someone your excitement about the Legal Shield service and or opportunity. So you click it off. Then you got another box that says click off if they're in Prospect by Legal Shield. Listen, we know that fortune is in the follow-up. And the worst part, the sad part is that is the worst thing that we are all good at, is following up. I don't care who you are, right? Unless you're that person that's only got like 3 people in the pipeline and you follow up with them 3 times a day, every day. That's not called following up. That is called stalking, right? There is a difference. But following up is about the tracking that you have. So you can follow up with them, you know, in your Prospect by Legal Shield, right? You can put notes in there, but you can also write some notes here and you check them off each time. Okay, they visited a website. Oh, I've got them on a 3-way call. I've used a sales tool. I've put them onto a webinar. They've been to a luncheon. They've been to a private business reception. I sent them some information on social media. You check them off. And then leaders, let me tell you, you want to be able to look at your team's business. Here's the thing, leaders. If we're not asking the right questions, we can't help our team grow the most. This is a question everyone should be able to ask. If I were to ask to look at your Wealth Builders Tracking Form right now, how's it looking? How's it looking? You know, your Wealth Builders Tracking Form should have checks all across it. It should have the names on there. If you look down at your Wealth Builders Tracking Form and it's got like 2 or 3 check marks, that's where the business is halting. If you ask for a Wealth Builders Tracking Form and they don't have them, maybe they've got some other system, but it's not as simple. It's not duplicatable. See, whatever system they have, they can't teach to somebody else, right? You can't teach. You may have this amazing super sales genie software, you know, I mean, Y2K, the whole 9 yards thing, right? But it's not duplicatable. This piece of paper is duplicatable. This checklist is duplicatable. This simple little top prospect list is duplicatable. This piece of paper that says, here's my why, that's duplicatable. This little page that says, here's where the licensing is, that's duplicatable. If everybody had these things filled out, and this is what you worked from to launch your business, let me tell you, your business will explode. I've been doing this for 16 years. Built a 6-figure business, you know, at executive director level, right? You don't have to, you know, go out and build the biggest, most massive, crazy. You want the best trained people. The people that will reach their goals based on the system. Listen, whatever people's goals are, they are. At the end of the day, though, they're all going to have the same opportunity by having these pieces of paper here. So, guys, I appreciate y'all. And you know, this is something I think every associate absolutely needs to take a look at. Let's see if there's anything. I just said that moments ago. Thank you, thank you. Well, listen, guys, I appreciate you all. And you know, this is the purpose of this is not to do anything more than say, listen, duplication leads to massive success. You can't duplicate yourself, but you can duplicate a system. Get over to shieldnation.com. Take a look at what it is that we've got going on there. You know, again, the more people that get to the same place, the bigger your business is going to be. You guys have a fantastic night, and bye-bye for now.